Okay, now let's look at restaurant staffing. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to order everything by date, time, and the hour. So just the hour, and then by restaurant name. Okay, and then we're going to just look at the size. Okay, so this tells us how many orders there are. Okay, by hour. So the interpretation of this is that at 10 a.m. Bryant Park had 5,581 orders. At hour 17, which is 5 p.m., Bryant Park had 15,844 orders. And we can unstack this so that we can see it in a nice table by restaurant and then by time. As you can see, this takes a little bit of time because it's a significant computation. We're doing this on over 2 million rows. And so you see at 9 o'clock, Bryant Park had no orders, Columbia had 2 orders, Flatiron had 2 orders, and so on and so forth. Okay? And we can visualize the result by just passing this result to plot. Okay, and so you see that all of the restaurants except for one have the same pattern, which is that there's a bump here around noon 12:30, which is lunchtime, and then there's another bump here around 6 p.m., which is around dinner time. And there's this one restaurant which is fairly flat, increasing throughout the day, and then at around 8 p.m. there's a big bump. So interesting pattern. We're now going to look at the summarized orders data set, which I've given you just to load up, but we are going to be able to create it here just from scratch so that you can see how to do that. So remember that summarized orders contains one entry or row for each day, each restaurant, and it contains the orders and the percentage that were delivery orders. So let's calculate the first thing, which is the number of orders. So we just group by the restaurant, we resample by day, and then we get the size, which just tells us the number of rows. So that's just the number of orders. So that's one of the columns inside of the thing. So here we are, one of the columns. Okay, now it's percentage of orders that are delivery orders. And so here we're going to use this technique that we've used over and over again, which is to create a new column, which makes the coding a lot easier. So here we're going to define this new column called isDelivery, which is true if it's a delivery type of order and false otherwise. And then what that allows us to do is just to simply take the mean of isDelivery, which then is equal to the percentage of deliveries. And so we run that, and so now we have the second column that we need in order to create this summarized orders table. Okay, so here's the percent delivery. And now we just join the two data frames together to create summarized orders head, right? And so this is how we created that data set. And so it's quite interesting, and it's something like 10 lines of code, so not completely trivial, but not all that difficult either. Now let's explore the question of creating a new delivery service. Okay, so let's explore the existing delivery service and see how it's doing. So here we're just going to look at one restaurant, Columbia. We're going to look at the value counts of the type of delivery, and we're going to normalize to true to get probabilities. So here we see that 73% are in-store, 17% are pickup, and only 10% are delivery. Let's do the same thing for all of the restaurants. And we see some variation in delivery. Like here it's actually just 7%, okay? But it isn't very high anywhere. So maybe 15% in the Upper West Side. Here we have a nice table using unstack. And again, this makes it a lot easier just to visualize it, and you see that we're never getting very high on delivery. Okay, so it's the lowest thing. And if we want to focus on launching a new delivery service, we might want to know where. And so we could assume that we're going to choose the lowest one. Again, this would be something that's the business analysis, so maybe Bryant Park, maybe Midtown are the lowest ones. We can create a stacked bar chart by just setting stacked equals to true, which also makes the visualization a lot easier. And again, Bryant Park and Midtown are the lowest ones. So we'll now get to know our customers better. for the next analysis.